let's jump right into it because they're on a time limit.
Yeah, yeah. That is the other thing, is that first game wasn't short, so they might be up against it here.
This is going to be really sad because we missed talking to Aaron after the first game. It looks like they're going to go to time again. Yeah. I think at some point before the day's over, I'm going to make it a point to pull Aaron in here and let us get some
yeah,
thoughts
I mean,
on
it would be really great to talk to both of them after that spectacular game 1.
Hey guys, we're just going to give you a tie for game 2 and pull you in here for 20 minutes to talk about it.
Oh, okay. So he had an Enigma in there that he was hoping to draw, and yeah, that would have been big too. But see, I think if he had installed Eli in front of HQ, it's costing Aaron 3 to get in there now, which Aaron can't really afford either, you know.
I mean, my problem with that is, right, so he had 2 credits. He pays 1, he takes 1 for click 1 to get up to 3.
Right.
He installs Eli for click 2, which puts him back down to he has to take credit again for turn 3.
Right.
He runs, Ahmed reses it, so then he's back at 0 credits with 2 cards in his deck. He literally does not have enough time in the game to finish his agenda at that point.
Yeah, so he probably would have decked at that point.
Yeah, that was not a good option.
He had 2 cards left to draw.
All right, so starting out with, sure enough, Sweep Sleek and HQ. So now they've got 15 minutes left on the timer right now to finish this game.
Which for Aaron, probably possible with an NBN deck, right?
Well,
but Ahmed's going to want to draw this out, right? Because Kate doesn't want to get set up that fast.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see who gets the better draws here.
If Eric can get some Astro Train going, then you know it could happen. I don't think he's counting on it. I think he's kind of built this deck for the long game, but it's NBN. Any NBN game can be over in a flash given the right cards.
Right.
Ahmed using quality time, searching for another prepaid. He finds some dirty laundry. He finds an R&D interface, which he's going to install. There we go. What else do you have over there? He has a dog breaker. He has what looks like a legwork. Uses the dirty laundry.
Ooh, hits the Sand, will trash it.
And still has
the
6.
5 back.
So much money in these Kate decks.
Yeah.
And it looks like Aaron is sitting at 12 right now. There's the Jackson. What's he got over there? He has... Aaron, I can't see his hand this time around.
Yeah, but he's just drawing through it. I'm probably trying to get some more ice here.
No, Ahmed's in an awkward way. He's drawn that levy that he needs for the archetype to work, but it's going to be sitting in his hand for the rest of the game, taking up space. And if he runs into one of Aaron's cards here that have any kind of net damage on it, he's going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah. Well, now Ahmed's set up with breakers, pretty much. So.
And thanks guys on the stream, keeping the players honest here. Going and paying some money that he might have missed before. We are the interactive Netrunner community here, where your voice matters. All right, so Aaron with a hedge fund, checking the eye, seeing where he needs to install here. And Ahmed has already gotten half of a rig set up. He's got a barrier. He's got whatever else he needs with that SMC.
He's got Deus Ex in hand.
He still needs some economy going, and that's going to be it. Yep.
Draws for 2, installs Katie, clicks Katie. So he's just going to sit back now.
And he discards Plascrete. I don't know that I would do that against Making News. Like I said, he may have played Aaron enough to know what this deck is, but if I see Making News, I'm going to assume some traces, which means some mid-season, possibly a Scorch deck.
Right.
Of course, we know better, but I'm not sure what I'd do sitting in Ahmed's place.
Aaron spends the turn getting money, sweeps and hedge. So
now sitting up at 23 credits, looks like. Ahmed got another R&D interface in his hand. And Aaron has double iced HQ, leaving R&D a little bit more vulnerable.
Yeah,
But he still needs the money to actually get in there and use that SMC.
Yeah, he might just wait until next turn, install, and go for it, and hope that that's a breakable piece of ice pretty easily. But you have to think if Aaron's installing over HQ, he's not really so much worried about that piece of ice, even though he knows the SMC is there with the dog.
It's almost backwards, right? So you see a Shaper sitting across the table from you, you kind of assume that the indexing's coming, you assume the Maker's Eye is coming, and the 2 ice would be over R&D. Now maybe with Criminal this is the right setup, but I can't see Aaron's hand. I gotta assume he has a few agendas in there if he's trying that hard to protect it.
Well, maybe, or it could be a toll booth, or maybe he assumes it's if it's an Ouroboros, he might assume that that's enough to sort of keep Ahmed from being able to affordably get in there. So he might be okay with it. We'll see.
Well, he may not have an agenda in his hand anymore. He may have an agenda sitting on the board in that new scoring server.
Although, again, we saw in the first round,
he has ashes and everything under the sun.
And there it is.
There you go.
So it's going to cost Ahmed a lot to get in there.
Josh calling his shot.
Yeah, and so right now he can't really afford to self-mod for it. I think he just wanted to see what it was. And he does have a Parasite in hand, so.
And I almost wonder if Aaron just kind of assumed he would do that because, I mean, he made a scoring server, assumedly, with 1 ice behind it, and Ahmed runs that and hits the Ouroboros, and now he can't run, regardless of what the other...
Luckily for Ahmed, he just drew a sure gamble. So next turn he's going to have all of the money. And, whoop, there's the Astro. So the train has begun. It's just what Aaron needed.
And Ahmed has been one of those people that is kind of talking down about the value of Clot, right? He's not too worried about it. He's an NEH player, and he's kind of played it off a little bit. So I don't know if he's actually put it in this deck.
Yeah, might be biting him in the butt here.
Ahmed is one of those players. He's a pretty consistent player. He's going to keep playing something until you demonstrate to him that it doesn't work anymore. And so I don't know how much change he's made to this Kate deck as long as he keeps doing well with it.
Right.
Goes in, finds the ash, trashes it. And he's sitting with, what, 12 credits over there on KD?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, breaking news.
Draws an Astrolabe. Goes ahead and installs it. Just getting money for the turn.
Now, Aaron's playing a taxing deck here, and he had an Astro script counter. Would you maybe play the breaking news down, advanced it once, use the Astro script, and then taking care of the Katie that has 12 credits on it right now?
It's hard to say. You want, if you can get some points scored, if you think you can score the points and keep those Astro script counters, then you've essentially won the game as soon as you draw that next agenda, right?
Right.
So it's really valuable to keep that counter on there, and I think on only 2 points, just going to 3 just to trash the KD is rough. I mean, almost for sure that there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
And so it might not come up right now.
And
it's
Kate
a
doesn't need
call.
Kate doesn't need the KD for economy.
Yeah.
She has all this operations. You're not going to keep Kate broke.
Yeah.
So it almost seems like a futile effort
so
to try.
It might have been a good call. It might have gotten him a few turns for a scoring window.
And if he had, agendas in hand to be able to use that, then it may have been worth it. But that may have been his last agenda. He's drawn for some new stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he has any.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting a very slim view. So it's not really going to open up scoring window he needs. Ahmed.
And it's terrible.
Doing all the calculations. Sorry.
It's terrible if you do that. You trash the KD, and then the next turn he installs another KD. Sure, you kept him off 12 money, but it hurts so much to see that happen. I remember playing in Blue Sun. I snatch and grab, kill the KD, and then the very next turn they install another one, and it's
So what happened to snatch and grab? Right, it came in.
Soul defeating.
It did work for a few weeks, and I haven't seen it in.
I think it's still really good in certain decks and certain matchups, but the runner just has so many ways to get money now that it's really hard to do that. Similar to Seesaw Scorched Earth, right?
Yeah.
Can still work in some situations, but having the money to do those traces is pretty rough.
All right. Ahmed using his double credit counters to indicate that he has at minute 4. One of the downsides to Ouroboros, I guess. So it's weird, right? At this point, FFG has made this situation where any kind of code gate and century that is 3 or less is a little awkward to play, and at this point, anything that's 4 is kind of awkward to play. So you kind of have to mix it up, maybe have some program destruction to get rid of those mimics, get rid of those jogs.
Yeah.
Get rid of, in this case, that Atman. Leg working, 1, 2.
Sees only ice.
And you wonder, right? So Aaron's at 3 points. He has an Astro script counter. I don't know why. I don't know if Ahmed was really expecting to see that many agendas in his hand. Maybe he was thinking about an NAPD. But if Aaron had an agenda in his hand, I assume it would have been scored right now. Because I will use Astro script counter to go up to 5.
Right. Oh, scores a Beal on the first RNDXS. Wow, and another Beal.
Oh, it hurts.
That's about as bad as it gets for Aaron.
And I mean, he has a toll booth in Ouroboros, right? You gotta expect that to be at least a little safe here. And give up 4 points off of that pretty well defended server. That's got to be
that data sucker doing work for the toll booth.
Phase 2 installs over.
So Ahmed working back up on the money. Gives Aaron a little bit of time. Maybe another turn if he can draw it. He doesn't. Does have a Sand in hand. Is going to install it.
Now Ahmed is not rolling in the map. Right? As I say that, sure enough.
As we say it.
That's what Kate does.
Always finds a way.
I was going to say, when a trash that Sand might tax him just enough.
Yep.
See if Aaron can use it this turn. Oh, he does. Oh. He's at 5 with the Astro script counter. Puts R&D interface down. If he oh, there we go. It's another toll booth. He's going to tax it so hard here. Ahmed paying 3 and 3. Uses that. Gets in. Does calculate so fast. If Ahmed top second win here, I will be sad for Aaron. 1, 2, 3.
Doesn't see anything.
He saw all those agendas last turn. I don't have sympathy for him.
Yep. Well, and at this point, he's got to feel pretty good about his ability to get in there if he thinks it's pretty agenda heavy. So, and we know he's got more same old things coming if he wants to legwork back in.
I mean, so that's what for him 8.
Yeah, I mean it's not cheap. Yeah, it's not cheap at all. But if he can get to the point where he thinks that's where the rest of the agendas are.
There we go. Yeah,
oh, wow.
That was it. Yep, and that was that typical NBN quick game there. If he can get those Astro scripts going, it doesn't matter what your deck's built for, taxing or speed, it's still going to happen.
So that's going to be a 2-0 for Aaron.